In this video, I will be taking a look at Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden Dice Miscellany. So welcome back to the channel. Today, we'll be taking a look to Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden Dice Miscellany. It's the latest dice set released by Wizards. It's following the same content pattern with Descent into Avernus and Leral Silverhand's Explorer's Kit, so we know pretty much what we're expecting, but let's give it a look. Ice Dice, baby! Planning an expedition to Icewind Dale? Prepare for a cold reception by arming yourself with dice that bring the heat. Components: 11 dice, 2d20s, 1d12, 2d10s, 1d8, 4d6s, 1d4. Player-friendly fold-out map of Icewind Dale and Tent Hounds. Durable, felt-lined box that functions as 2 dice trays. And 20 double-sided cards with descriptions and illustrations of characters and creatures one might encounter in Icewind Dale. And the MSRP is $29.99. Alright, let's open it. I don't want to waste your time. This time I won't be reading all of the cards because the previous video got a bit too long. So first, let's check out the dice, because I have taken a tiny peek at them and the color is pretty amazing. With the first look, you can see that they have a blue-greenish color with a bit of a shining element into them. But if we move them to sunlight, you can see that the color is much more rich. Look how there are multiple colors inside the dice, which are semi-transparent. And actually, I don't know what the basic resin color is, but you can see various colors. I can count 3 or 4, but the main ones are blue, greenish, and a purple. And the sparkle is amazing. In Leral Silverhands, the sparkle element was silver. In this one, it seems to be blue. And the numbers, while they are painted silver, I think the silver color picked for the dice is a bit different than Leral Silverhands. Like with the previous dice set, we have 2d10s, 2d20s, 4d6, 1d8, 1d4, 1d12, but this time the d20s are the same size as the rest of the dice. I don't think you can see it, but they are much more transparent than the Leral Silverhands dice. And we can also see there are a lot of bubbles in them, which I don't think is a very positive thing. I can see, without trying, bubbles in all the d6s, in the d8, d4, I can see it in the d10s, yeah, all of them have bubbles. So for those interested in having dice that are as much random as possible, maybe they aren't for you. But if you're looking for some really good looking dice, yeah, you should give them a look. But anyway, let's check out the rest of the stuff. Now, let's see. We have the cards, the maps, which we will take a look in a bit. But let's go to the boxes first. The boxes are sturdy enough if you want to use them as dice trays that we have seen before. They aren't as sturdy as probably the wooden ones, but they do the job. So let's check out the artwork. So, on the sides of one we have some runes, and on the back we have the D&D ampersand. Not bad, but let's check out the other one. It must be shinier, I believe. Yeah, and we have a really shiny one here. The sides are shiny as well, and I think that's all for the boxes. And let's move to the cards. Again, there are 20 cards, and this time I'll go through them with the right order. So let's make sure this is the right order. And this must be the right one, because this is the introductory card, which doesn't count as one of them. I will read this one, and we will go through the others a bit quicker than last time. So, Strahd do Urden. My name is Strahd do Urden, son of Zaknafine do Urden. My father's wisdom illuminated my life's path, until his murder at the hands of our kinsfolk compelled me to flee the underground city of Menzoberranzan. I have shunned the evil of the Drow and risen through the Underdark to the surface realm, questing for a new life. My path led me to Icewind Dale. In this perilous expanse, I have banished demons, toppled tyrants, and struck down dragons while seeking to win the favor of the good folk who live there. Looking back, it's not the path I have taken that matters, but the friends who joined me on the way, those who remained by my side when my heritage exposed me to the persecution of others. If my 2 centuries in this world have taught me anything, it's this. Surround yourself with good hearts, sharp minds, brave souls, and kindred spirits. You'll realize then that you needn't share blood to have a family, nor do you need a roof to have a place to call home. Strahd. So, let's check out the cards. And oh gods, I have to pronounce names again, and this one is for a dragon. Oh god, no way. So this is Arveaturace. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Guessing from the fact that the introduction is written by Strahd, we will be probably getting the information from the perspective of Strahd. So this is information about the dragon from Strahd's perspective. Again, I said I won't be going through them in detail because the previous one was way too long. Now this is Auril, the Frostmaiden, and she's the reason behind what's happening in Rime of the Frostmaiden. And check this out. Again, you can pause if you want to read the cards. Now we have Awakened Beasts. This is a very bloody reindeer. And some information about them. And this is a Black Ice Berserker. These are berserkers who use weapons made out of a material found in Icewind Dale. How do you pronounce that? Maybe Chwingas? Maybe? I don't know. But these are some spirits found in the Dale, if I remember correctly. And they are quite cute. An interesting thing to note is that the cards don't feature art on the backside, while in Leral's dice set they had some artwork. They had the same artwork from the front, but they featured either a zoomed version or a cut version of it. Now we have a Cold Light Walker, and it's looking pretty cool. Oh, so Cold Light Walkers are souls of people who died, who froze to death in the Dale. Now we have a Frost Giant riding a mammoth. So this mammoth must be really, really big. Let's see. Also, I believe the information in the cards may be less than the previous dice set. But I can't say for sure because, as I said, there isn't art here covering any of the card. This is a Frost Giant skeleton. Frost Giants used to go to Icewind Dale as a pilgrimage, and they die there, and now they come back to life for some reason. And now we have ice trolls, and ice trolls actually look better than the default trolls. At least the aesthetics are better to my eye. Probably the fur, and because I think they look a bit like World of Warcraft trolls. Yeah, that's probably it, I think. Now let's see. So they are a bit more brutal than their less icy cousins, but the way to deal them is pretty much the same. Bit of fire and everything is fine. Now we have the Icewind Kobolds, who are 3 kobolds in a trench coat. And I believe some of the kobolds live in 10 towns. They are allowed entry and to mingle with the rest of the inhabitants there, as long as they remain friendly, you could say. Now this is All Bitey. All Bitey is a knucklehead trout, and I've been always curious about how knucklehead trouts look like. Since reading the Icewind Dale trilogy, this was an actual question for me. And now I have a visual representation of a knucklehead trout. But let's move. More names. This is Oyaminartok the Goliath Werber, and this is, at least for now, the best character in Icewind Dale. I like bears, Goliaths are cool, and just look how happy the Werber looks. And let's see what we know about them. Oyaminartok can be a guide for those who are lost. She also duels Goliaths, and all around she seems like a very good company to have in the Dale. Now we have the Rigged Nomads, or Ragged Nomads. And I like how the 3 here are wearing pelts from different animals. Oh, because there are multiple tribes. Right. Yeah. They have the tribe of the elk. That used to be 1. Now we can see that there are only 3. The tiger, the wolf and the bear, which are represented in the front of the card. Okay, and now let's move to something I saw and I liked a lot. Yep, we have Remoras. Remoras are some monsters that I really like. Actually, from an article in the old Wizards website about a white dragon, somewhere close to Dale, I believe, that used to hunt them down in a playful manner before eating them. And also in another book, in an Eberron book, there was an encounter with one of them. This is a snowy owlbear. So they are a combination of a snowy owl and a polar bear. Yeah, it kinda makes sense to have more types of owlbear, because it's one of the iconic monsters, so why not make more? Okay, more names, good. This is Take a Lily, the Gnoll Vampire. A Gnoll and a Vampire. Okay. Sounds dangerous. Oh, so Gnolls become vampires because their hunger for flesh is so great that they just come back to life. Not bad. But let's move on. These are the 10 Towners, which are the people who live in the 10 towns. And what are the 10 towns? 10 towns. They are the main center of civilization in the Icewind Dale, and they are comprised of various races, and at least the first generation was comprised of people who wanted to escape the south or look for treasure on the north. But now let's take a look at the Verbig. So they tend to accompany ogres and hill giants, and they usually are the leaders of the group because they're smarter. Now we have the Yeti. Okay, this looks really dangerous. I really like the artwork, by the way. Yeti really like ambushing caravans and other people out there in the tundra. They are really good at that, and their fur helps them, because if I remember correctly, it changes with the season. But I think that's all. Yep, because this is an ad for Drizzt miniature. So, finally, time to take a look at the map. And this is the map of Icewind Dale. And more specifically, let's check out the 10 towns and the lakes. And there are some other notable landmarks like Kelvin's Cairn. And let's see. And you can see here there isn't anything. There aren't any landmarks, because it's pretty much a barren area. So yeah, we only have the 10 towns, some very basic landmarks, a river or two, the path that a caravan follows to reach 10 towns, which also, if I remember correctly, either is closed during winter or it's too dangerous to follow. And that's all for this side of the map. Let's check out the other side. Okay, so the other side is pretty much 10 very small maps, one for each of the 10 towns. So let's give them a very quick look. Yeah, due to their size, they're not gonna be very helpful during a game, I think, for the players. Let's see. And as you can see, the 10 towns vary in size depending on their location. And even though Bryn Shander isn't exactly near the water, it's the largest one because this is where the caravans go. And it's also a walled settlement, which is also very important if you take into consideration how dangerous the Dale is. And I think that's all. And now it's time for the final verdict. How does Rime of the Frostmaiden Dice Miscellany fare compared to other dice sets? First of all, the dice look really good. They are very beautiful. I like the colors, I like that it fits the flavor of the adventure, and that's good. However, since they are transparent, you can see that there are a lot of bubbles in there. This can be a problem for some and a non-issue for others, so I will not be counting this as a negative. However, the moment I took the cards in my hand, I noticed something, and I had to check out because I wanted to confirm it. I took out the cards from Laravel Silverhand's Explorer's Kit and actually confirmed that the material for the cards in Rime of the Frostmaiden isn't as good as the cards in Laravel Silverhand's Explorer's Kit. They feel a bit flimsier. And I don't know why they would do this, especially when they increased the MSRP of the dice. Finally, the map. It looks really good, at least the one side. I like the mapping style. I enjoyed it a lot. If you want more details, this may be not a map for you when it comes to annotations. There aren't many annotations, but also it's Icewind Dale and there isn't much to be found there, at least on a surface level. You need to look for it, so maps may not be very detailed. And I get that. However, the other side of the map is actually 10 small maps, which aren't very easy to read, and I don't think they're going to be very helpful. So, unless you really like the coloring of the dice, which, as I said, it's really good, and you want to complete a collection, maybe you should check out the previous two boxes, Laravel Silverhands and Descent into Avernus. I really don't know if I can recommend Rime of the Frostmaiden dice set, because it feels the quality went down a bit, and it feels weird when the MSRP went up. But at least that's my opinion. I would like to hear from you. Did you get the dice? Are you happy with them? Maybe there were less bubbles in there. Maybe I'm wrong with the quality of the cards. At least in my hands, they felt like they weren't as dirty as in the previous set. And I think that's all. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. There's more content coming your way. And not just dice reviews. I have more planned. If you enjoyed the video or you find it helpful, make sure to like it. You can also check out my blog if you want more content in written form. There is also going to be a written review on the dice. If you want to support me, make sure to check out my Patreon. There you can get some exclusive rewards. You can also support me by checking out my work over at the DM's Guild and Drive Through RPG. And now I'm done. Thank you for watching, and until next time, have fun!